Thank you for being here. Congratulations on your appointment. The ranking member discussed this briefly, talking about UNIFIL and the mandate, and obviously the fact that it's coming up, and there was concerns over the last number of weeks based on the munitions depot in South Lebanon, and the fact that UNIFIL soldiers attempted to investigate this incident. A mob of civilians attacked the soldiers who, at least from the observations we have, instead of confronting the mob, abandoned the investigation and their responsibilities. It's our understanding. And it's additionally reported that Lebanese civilians crossed the blue line to plant Hezbollah flags at a makeshift observation point several yards into Israel. The concerns that we've had for the last number of months and for a period now is that UNIFIL is not fulfilling what we believe is necessary to keep things in check there. And although the rockets haven't been coming, there has been a massive rearming of that area. And I had the chance to travel to Lebanon a number of months ago in a bipartisan group, and we spoke to the Lebanese government about it and expressed our significant concern. And for all practical purposes, we did not get a response that we believe was forthcoming. We want to work with Lebanon, and we appreciate the fact that the Lebanese people had a very expressed themselves politically in a way that I think would be consistent with our beliefs. But the specific question I have for you is, what can we do to strengthen this mandate that UNIFIL has to really take on and fulfill the UN resolutions?
Thank you, Mr. Klein. And I think you posed the question precisely and correctly, because as you know, UNIFIL is currently limited to a Chapter 6 mandate. And others can provide the history better than I, because this mandate was passed and updated prior to my tenure. But it was a contentious discussion and debate, and there were those who didn't want to give UNIFIL the enhanced capacity that it has today. And so the strengthening of the mandate is an interest that I understand many good people on the Hill share, and we certainly are sympathetic to it, but I don't think as a practical matter that we will be able to muster the support in the Security Council that would be necessary to substantially strengthen the mandate. So we are dealing with a Chapter 6 operation. We're dealing with a Chapter 6 operation that's got about 12,000 personnel. Many have been contributed from some of our most important allies in Europe. And we frankly think that all of the problems you have described and that others have described notwithstanding, that on balance the role that UNIFIL is playing adds value rather than the opposite, even as we wish it would be able to do more. It is, in fact, taking active steps to visibly mark the blue line. 40 points along the blue line have been agreed by the parties. 17 markers have been installed. 8 are under construction. It is investigating where it can, consistent with its mandate, violations of 1701, including arms flows. It did not succeed as it went to try to investigate the arms cache that exploded on the 14th of July, not because it lacked the will, but because it lacked the strength on the ground to frankly repel and didn't have the mandate to repel with force.
Well, I guess what I'd ask you, though, and I appreciate your explanation, is, you know, sometimes there's a role that it has a quote legitimate role there that's been established, but you know, I think many of us think that the role of legitimacy, if in fact it is limited in its capacity, sometimes provides cover for what is actually going on there. And again, we're happy that there's no attacks on Israel right now, but I mean, I think it's a ticking time bomb just waiting to happen. And you know, whether UNIFIL is playing a role, I hear you. We may not be able to go any farther with it, but you know, are you satisfied with just continuing this on indefinitely and saying that?
I don't think anybody could say they're satisfied with UNIFIL in its current capacity, but I think we support it because we think its presence contributes. On balance, it's better than the alternative. Were there no UNIFIL there would be no ability to demarcate the blue line, to investigate these abuses, and to provide some eyes and ears on what is transpiring in this very, very sensitive zone.
The only other thing I'd like to add on a separate note is Durban, and I do want to express appreciation. I know this country did try to work through and change what was prepared for the Durban conference. I appreciate the approach we did take, and I appreciate the fact that we did not participate, and I do appreciate the fact that we are trying in a constructive way through the Human Rights Council to change the dynamic there as well.
The time of the gentleman has expired.